While working with the routes in ASP.NET Core Web application, either MVC application or the Web API application, then you need to implement some logics on these routes. And all these logics are possible just because of the route constraints. Let's understand what is the concept of this route constraints. Let's say I want to implement a URL where at the last part I am passing the ID, but this ID must be less than 20. If the ID is greater than or equal to 20, then we should not hit this particular resource. Second is the entire part of the URL is same, but in the last parameter here I want to pass the string. In the first URL I want to pass the integer, but here in the second one I want to pass the string. Then how can I differentiate in between these URLs? And you can notice that these are unique URLs, so these must be possible in web application. Now here is the third URL. For example, in this domain I want to pass the ID, but the ID must be greater than 20. We can handle all these type of scenarios by using the route constraint. Let's understand the route constraints. We will start with first constraint, type. If we are using any kind of variable in our route, then we can provide the type. Let's open the Visual Studio and let's understand how it works. To understand the concept better, let's add one more controller. Let's give it a name books. Click on the add button. Here we can add one action method, so we can simply copy the action method from this place. Let's paste it over here. So here we can define the routes like ID. Let's get one more similar action method, and this time here I will be using a string. Let's update the message like hello int, and here we can write hello string. Now let's focus on the routes. In the routes, first we are using API, then the name of the controller, because this is a base route, and then after this base route we are appending this part. So here we are passing the ID, and here again we are passing the ID, but here is a slight logic. In the first action method we are expecting integer, but here in the second one we are expecting string. Let's see how it is working without doing anything else. Let's put a breakpoint on both the action methods and run this application in debug mode. Let's enter the URL. Here we can write API books and then some ID. Let's say first I am typing integer. Click on the enter button, and here you can notice that we are having the ambiguity error. Here the application got confused because we have defined two resources for one single URL, and the application is right because we are using the same route for both the action methods. Now because I want to have the different type of this particular variable, so we can define the type on these variables. Let's see how can we do that. To assign the type of a particular variable, first you need to use colon. This colon is available on the same button of your semicolon, and then you can provide the type. Let's say I want to have the type integer, so here I can write integer. By default all the variables will be treated as a string, so there is no need to define anything like string over here. Now let's run this application again by pressing Ctrl F5. We can refresh this page, and this time you can see that we are having the output from integer, hello integer 12. If instead of using this integer I am passing some text like this, press the enter button. Here you can notice that we are having the message from our second action method, that is string. This is how you can provide the type for your variables. And remember, you can use any type. You can provide integer, boolean, date time, double, float, etc. Second constraint is minimum. To set the minimum value we can use the min method, and inside this min method we can provide the minimum number. Let's say I want to implement a logic on this action method that the minimum number of the ID must be 10. So here I can add one more constraint. Again put a colon, then type min, and in this min method we can provide the minimum value. Let's say 10. Now this route will not work with less than 10 values. Let's run this application by pressing Ctrl F5 again. Let's pass the ID. Let's say I'm passing 12. Press the enter button. So we are getting the proper message like hello int 12, because 12 is greater than 10, that is why it is working. But suppose instead of using 12 I'm passing 1. Press the enter button. This time you can notice that we are navigated to the second one in the string. As I have already told you that by default all the values will be treated as string, and this is the reason that this time we are hitting the second action method, max. Just like the minimum, we can also define the maximum number. To define the maximum number, we need to use the max method, and inside this max we can provide the maximum number for that particular variable. Suppose you are working with the id and you want to have the id that must be less than 100. So in the max method you can pass 100 and the route will work only for the less than 100 values. Let's try this one also. Let's say along with this minimum, now I want to work with the max also. So here I can define max, and in the max method I can provide the maximum number. Let's say it is 100. Save the changes, build this application, refresh this page. Here we are having a string for id 1. Let's define it like 99. Press the enter button. So we are having the message from integer, but if I will update this value to greater than 100, just like 991, press the enter button, and here we are having the string, that is the second action method. This is how you can define the constraints on your variable and you can protect your action method. Suppose I am passing a string in the URL and I want to define the minimum length of this string. So I can use the min length. For example, we are talking about the name. Then in the name, I want to define some minimum length. I can use this min length function and I can define this minimum length. So let's say I want to define the min length. Let's say the minimum length should be 5. Now build this application. Refresh this page. This time you can see, because this id does not meet the requirement for any of the resource. In the first one, the id must be greater than 10 and less than 100, and in the second one there must be 5 characters in this value. That is why we are having 404 page. If I will append the text like this, time you can see we are having 5 characters. Press the enter button, and here we got the message from the second action method. If I will update the value to 20, then the integer is working for us. If again I am passing something ABC, this time I am passing a string, but this string does not have 5 characters. Ideally we should get the 404 page, and here it is. We can also have the length more than 5 characters. This time you can see the length of this particular variable is 9. Press the enter button and it is working, because we have added the check only for the min length, not for the maximum length. And this is the reason that this route is working fine. Second is max length. Just like the minimum length, we can also apply the max length on this particular variable. You have to try the max length by yourself. Next is length. The length is basically to match the exact value. Suppose I am having length 15. If I am using length 15, it means there must be exactly 15 characters in that particular string. If there are less than 15 or greater than 15, then it will not work. Instead of using this min length, this time I am using length, and here I am passing 5. Build this application, refresh this page. Here you can notice that we are having 404 because we are passing 9 characters, and this is not a valid path. And there must be exactly 5 characters in this particular variable. Press the enter button. Here we got the message from our second action method, that is hello string. If you will pass less than 5, you will get the error. If you will pass more than 5, then again you will get the error. Next is range. Although you can define a range by using the minimum and max method, but you can also use the range method. In the range method you can pass 2 numbers. First is the minimum and second is the maximum. So instead of using 2 separate functions, here you can use only one function, and you can define your range only by using the range method.